Hi everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project padding and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I started filming this already once, but my son was like all up in my business and all up in my stuff, and he was also getting into things, so I had to make sure that he was out of the room so that I could get this film to completion. So you will see swatches already done on my arms when I start showing you things, but I just want to get right into this. So this was created by Jessica Lee. It's called Throwback 30 Project Pan. This is the first time I'm doing this project, so I'm super excited to be joining in on this one. Also, it gives me an opportunity to try a whole bunch of projects that I've never done before, and it's really fun. I'm excited to join in on this, and I'm excited to throw all 30 prompts in at once, so that's going to be a really big challenge, but also I think it's going to be a good time starting everything from scratch, like right off the bat. So these are monthly updates, and they're from July 28th to July 28th of 2023. So it's a full year project, and I have chosen some really lofty goals for my prompts. So let's just go ahead and get right into what I've selected. The first one is the 12 Days of Christmas Project Pan, and for that I have selected the Eau Thermale Avene. This is the Soothing Skin Recovery Cream. Now, I cannot talk enough good things about this product. I'm a little bit flustered, so I apologize. So this lotion, I have to say, is probably one of my very favorite lotions that I've ever tried. It's fragrance free. It's like 90%, is it 90% natural products? 98% of ingredients from natural origin. And it's tested on allergic skin. So if you have a lot of allergies or sensitivities, this really probably, it will be good for you. So anyone from the age 2 and up can use this product for face, neck, and eyes. Like eye contour, not on your eyes, of course, but like your eye contour. So, of course, if you do try this or you buy this, do a test to see if it's okay for you. But I highly recommend it. Sometimes I get very, very dry, scaly patches about right here on my face because I'm either washing my face too much, or I haven't put enough cream on there, or the creams that I'm using have too much fragrance or something that doesn't agree with my skin, and it starts to get puffy and very scaly, and it hurts so much. My skin, it's very, very sensitive there. So this is a really, really good lotion. I highly recommend it, and this is what the bottle looks like in case you want to take a look for it. Definitely recommend that product. The next is the Four Seasons Project Pan, and the prompt I selected is fall. For that one, I selected my MAC lipstick in the shade Diva, and the reason I selected this shade is because it's not a shade I normally wear anymore, and I have a lot of lipsticks in my collection with the same shade. I used to wear this constantly. It's right here. I used to wear this constantly when I was maybe like in 2015, 2016. Probably like that. That's where I bought all of them. So they're really old. Also, I didn't buy them all at once. So anywhere from like 2015 to 2018, I would slowly buy a bunch of these. And then all of a sudden I just stopped like wearing all of these. So I have a bunch. I want to use them. I would like to complete this, but we'll see. I may have to change my goal for that one, but my goal would be to completely use that up. It is a beautiful shade, and I could wear it with a neutral eye like this just to give my face some kind of a pop, but I've been really enjoying a nude look and focusing more so on the eyes being the focus, and just soft everything else. But my taste will change, so like throughout the week or whatever, throughout the months, it always changes day by day. But lately this has been like my go-to kind of style. Especially, it's so easy for work in the morning. I use like 3 or 4 eyeshadow colors, and it's super easy and basic, and I just head out the door and it's good to go. Where if I'm doing a more colorful, in-depth look, sometimes it takes longer, and you've got to do that blending, making sure everything looks good. Where this, I just like it. If I didn't blend it exactly perfectly, you couldn't really tell. So, it's super simple and easy for the morning, and I enjoy that kind of a look lately. So the next one is 50 Shades of Green, and of course it's a green item, and for that I have selected my Sephora hemp blotting papers because of the green packaging. There is 100 sheets in here. I have used maybe 2 to 4 of those, so that's all that's out of there currently, but I plan on completing that. That's a definite complete those. And the next shade, or the next prompt, is 50 Shades of Pink. And for 50 Shades of Pink, I decided to go with my Makeup Geek eyeshadow in the shade Razzleberry, which is right here. And that is the shade right there. And it's so beautiful. It does have some like glittery things in it, which I'm not a huge fan of, honestly, but this shade was so beautiful, and I've never seen a shade like that before, because it came out so long ago. It's so old and like dry and powdery. I don't think I'll have any problem even using this eyeshadow up completely. My goal is to use it completely, but I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my goal. So yeah, it's just a really beautiful shade. And then for the next one, it's 50 Shades of Purple. And for that, I selected Max Hepcat, which is in the same palette here. And this was very, very hard for me to find. So that when I had it, I didn't want to use it because I didn't want to be without it. Now I just want to use it. And it looks like this. It's so gorgeous. These two shades right here give me like Ice Cream Dream palette vibes from Glamlight. I love those two shades. I think they're so beautiful. And I'm excited to get some use out of those. My goal would be to hit pan on this, but I really don't think I'm going to come anywhere near to pan even by the time the project ends, because I have always so much eyeshadow in my projects and I'm trying to use through all of them, you know, every now and then. I don't want to forget stuff, so I don't know how often I'll reach for that, but my goal is for pan, but I'll just use it as much as I can. That's all I really want. The next is Seven Deadly Pans, and for that I have selected Sloth, which is like, in my mind, something that is very slow moving, something that it takes me a long time to pan, or that I haven't touched and it's just been kind of sitting there, all of that slowness or whatever. So I have selected from my Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers, and I've decided to go with the shade Endless, is it Endless Summer? Endless Summer, that's right. So that's the shade I'm going to go with there. And it's pretty much untouched except for the swatch here, which is right there. It's a beautiful, more cool tone shade, and I really, really like it. It has like the most tiniest amount of luminosity to it, but it's just the right amount. I do like a more luminous bronzer over a matte bronzer. I feel like it just gives me that glow from within. And I'm an oily girl, so normally my makeup is very mattified, but I just love the way a luminous bronzer makes my skin look. It just gives me that enough amount of that shine that I'm looking for. And then Alice in Wonder Pan, I have selected the shade, or the prompt, sorry, Cheshire Cat, which is a lipstick or a lip product. And I decided to go with the Lancome Juicy Tubes in the shade Spring Fling. I do not love this product. I tried starting to pan it. I was at the beginning of this year or something, maybe end of last year, and I only got this far, so not that far in. You can see there's still so much left. I would like to complete this, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, I want to complete that bronzer as well, by the way. But I just find this so like jelly, gelatinous, gummy. I know that sounds terrible. It sounds like not very good descriptive words, but compared to like a nice lip gloss, like for example Tower 28 lip gloss or Fenty Beauty lip gloss, this is just a very thick consistency, and I don't enjoy this consistency. So the next is Beauty A to Z, and I did a random letter generator and I got the letter M, and for that I selected my MAC blush in the shade Margin, so 2 M's. And this is what it looks like. It's just a very peachy neutral shade, very, very gorgeous. I thought this would be good for all year round, especially because it starts in the summer and ends in the summer. I figure I would get a lot of use out of that. And this is the shade right here. It just looks really nice, especially between these two bronzer shades. Looks really gorgeous. And for this one, I would like to get to pan at least. So, but my goal is, if I do get to pan well before the project ends, which I probably won't, but if I do, I'll just keep it in until the end of the project and get as much use out of it as I can. The next prompt or project is Birthstone Beauty, and I selected May, which is Emerald, and for that I selected my JD Glow eyeshadow in the shade Seaweed. It has a very green glow from what I can see on the camera, like in the viewfinder, but it also has a teal shift, and I'm hoping on my knuckles you can see at the top there's that big teal reflector, like the shift happening up there, and then the emeraldy type kind of goldish green. So it kind of gives like a goldish green to an emerald green to a teal kind of deal, and I love it. It's beautiful, and I never wear these shades. Never. I don't even think I've even worn this, and I've had it for months and months. So this will be my opportunity to put something like this to use. Andrea does these like so good. I get scared when I look at this, and I don't get scared by much, but for some reason I feel like it will just take over my eye look, or it's because it's got that dark black base. I feel like I'm comfortable with those, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it justice. I'll maybe have to reach out to Andrea. So the next one is Budget Beauty. And of course that's like an inexpensive product, drugstore product, whatever, like all those like ColourPop or drugstore or Elf or something like that. For this, I decided to select something that I picked up at Ulta when I was in the States, probably like 2014 or 15, something like that. Maybe even, I don't know. It was a long time ago. But I've selected these Makeup Revolution highlighters. They are the Vivid Baked highlighters. And for this one, I want to use both of these like in total 30 times. I could use this one 20 and this one 10 or 15 each, whatever, as long as I grab these a total of 30 times. Even if I use both of these mixed together again, that would be 2 uses because they're 2 different pans. So that's how I'm looking at this 30 uses. I just want to get some use, and I would love to start wearing off these like embossments, especially these ones. You know. Okay, so the next prompt or project is Child of the 80s, and for that one I have selected Star Wars, which is something glittery. Now I kind of went a little more literal, and I decided to go with my ColourPop Darth Vader palette, which is Star Wars, of course. And the reason I selected this is also because it has some shades that have some glitter in them, or at least some kind of mica or something in them that have glitter reflect. You can see all those little silvery whatevers. So anyhow, I'm going to use this whole palette. I just got to put this little cover back on because got to do that. I am going to use each shade in here 2 times. I have never done that in a palette before where I have to use each shade a number of times. And so I'm excited about that, but I'm also like, I have to make sure I challenge myself to remember to grab that to put with other looks as well, or I'm going to be using some of those shades multiple times. So that will be a little bit of a new challenge for me, which I'm excited about. So the next prompt or project is drop 10 before summer. And I have decided to go into the Little Black Book of Bronzers again and try to complete another one, which is Sun Bunny right here. So I would like to do both of these in this project. I'd like to have them both completed. That is a lot of bronzer for me. I don't know that I'm going to be able to complete all of those. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put bronzer in any other project next year, but I hope that once I complete the bronzer that I'm working on and I get through the other prompts with bronzers that I have, I can start working on these and try to get them out by the end of this project. So my goal is to complete that one pan for sure. The next is Food for Thought, and that is of course a food themed item, and I've selected my Glamlight Red Velvet Cake palette. And the reason I selected this obviously is because it has red velvet cake, but I could have chose the cake palette or something else that had food on it. But I chose this because I thoroughly enjoyed using this in a project that I previously had it in for a similar prompt. And I really liked the fact that it was easy to use and I could just throw it on and go. One color in the outer corner in the crease, one color on the lid, and I can go to work. It's super simple. And I need that in the mornings when I have to work at my office, because I don't have a lot of time in the morning because I start super early. So I thought that would be a really good one to use. And for that one, I want to use any of the shades a total of 20 times. So just like 20 uses, like 20 pan uses, or like not 20 pan uses, but like if I use five of those eyeshadows to create a look, that's 1 use. If I use 2 with another palette, that's 1 use, that kind of thing. So 20 times. Now, the next one is Gotta Pan 'Em All, which is a Pokemon themed project, and that's where you select a Pokemon and that Pokemon has like a prompt to it. So I selected Ash. Like, I don't know Pokemon at all, so I just selected something that I thought might gel well for a prompt for me, and I selected Ash, which is something you are determined to finish. And I have selected the L'Oreal BB cream in the shade Light. This is supposed to adjust color to your skin shade. It comes out white in the I was gonna open it, but it's a mess right now. So basically it comes out a light shade, almost the color of the packaging, and then it adjusts to your skin shade. When I put it on my arm or my wrist, it goes a few shades deeper, but when I put it on my face, it pretty much matches exactly. So it's kind of crazy, but I just want to get it completed. And I'm working on quite a few foundations right now, so this isn't something that I'm going to be really gravitating toward or reaching for very often until I get those other ones completed. But this is just something that I'm okay trying to get out, because I think it's about halfway done. So once it settles, I will mark it so that in the next or the first update, you guys will be able to see just how much I was able to use. The next one is Harry Potter and the Pan of Fire, and for that the prompt I selected is Bludger, which is something that is black. And this is another one that I kind of went a little crazy on for U School, and I selected my Tarte blush palette. This is super old, but I want to get used because I don't even know that I've even used this palette. It looks virtually untouched. Maybe I've used 1 shade. So I would like to use this a total of 50 uses. So each pan will be considered a use. So if I use these 2 together, that would be 1-2 uses. If I use these 3 shades together, that's 3 uses. So that's kind of why I put 50, because I don't want to just touch this 50 times. I want to use each pan a total of 50 times. So hopefully I can get through that, because I do have a lot of goals for next year for blushes and things. I want to get used. I want to try them all. I want to see what I like, kind of thing, so that I'm not sitting on stuff that I don't want to use at all. And I have a lot of blush. So yeah, that's how come I've selected that one for 50 uses. The next is I Heart the 90s, and I selected Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is a scented product. And for that I selected Katy Perry's Meow perfume. It is pretty much full right to the top. It's to here, but the head just comes off. Like it just comes off. There's no like anything there to secure it, so it's just this glass head that rolls around everywhere, and I'm not about to have a broken glass head on my floor of a cat head. I love the perfume. It smells beautiful. It's very sweet. Oh, it's very beautiful, but I would really like to have the opportunity to try new perfumes. I want to use through the ones that are older. I used to have this as well as a backup that I panned last year. I would like to have a few new scents, something that's different and new for me. However, if I see Nicki Minaj perfumes, I will be buying them, because I love the Nicki Minaj perfumes. They are the right amount of sweetness and they last all day. I love that. So I want to complete this perfume. This will be one of my very large feats yet again. The next one is Let's Get Loose, and for that prompt I've selected my Sephora loose powder. I have to mark this, but it's pretty much to there, so not quite half, but a lot of product. You don't really need a lot of this product, so I don't know how often I'm going to use it. And it's got like the most different siftery type button thing that I've seen, and it's also messy. But I love the actual product that is in here. Like, it's a beautiful product, but the component and things, it's just kind of a little bit, I have to learn how to play with that. Next is Lip Service, which is select your own goals on lip products, and for that I have selected my Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello. Oh my god, Caramello. can't even talk. This one is virtually empty as well. I used these for so many years that there's not much product left in these, but it's such a nice, like almost concealer lips shade, but I could put a nice dark lip liner around this and get this out. I would like to have quite a few of my little liquid lipsticks out. That would be so helpful. And this is actually a really nice color. So happy about that one. That one's to complete. The next is the Mean Girls quotes, and the prompt I selected is on Wednesdays we wear pink. And for that one, I have selected my JD Glow eyeshadow in AKA, which is right here. And this is where I start swatching again, because this is pretty much where I got up to last time. So this is what the pink eyeshadow looks like. It's very beautiful, and I think it will go well with those two. I don't know, we'll see. It's beautiful though. It's very Barbie pink, which is pretty much perfect for Mean Girls. And then Nightmare on Panning Street, which is my favorite project pan. That one I selected Rosemary's Baby, which is a new item, and I have decided to use an eyeshadow palette that I have had for a while but haven't used yet, so it's brand new still. And that is the Natasha Denona palette number 2. It's the 5-pan palette number 2. And it's exactly the shades that I have been wearing, except for this like deep burgundy, but of course I could get use out of that regardless. But it's just all of the shades that I have been loving and wearing. So I would like to get some use out of that. And for that one, my goal is, where am I here? 2 times each shade. So I'll probably overreach my goal, I guess. I think I probably will, because just looking at them, I really like those. I really like those eyeshadow shades, but we'll see. The next is Pan as Old as Time, and this is a prompt of your oldest palette. So I've decided to go with my Shade and Light by Kat Von D. It's super old, and I have got some use in this thing, but it doesn't look loved enough for me. And it's one of my favorite palettes. I love the formula. I love how they apply. I really enjoy the color story. It's just something that I would totally just wear and slap on right now and not have to really worry too much, just like what I'm wearing now. And then I have a little bit of like a JD Glow Unexpected or something on my inner lid, and then just a little bit of a Shine by SD in my inner corner. Just a little pop or whatever. It's so simple. I could totally do something like this and just use like a tiny bit of a shimmer on my inner lid and go to work and feel glam, but really I have done next to nothing, you know? So the next, oh, and I want to use that one 10 times. I want to use the palette 10 times. It doesn't matter what eyeshadows I grab into it. I have to grab it 10 times. Next is Pan of Dinosaurs, and the prompt I selected is Argentinosaurus. Never heard of it. It's a big, bulky, or heavy item in your collection. And I'm just reaching to the very bottom, and I have selected this big, bulky, kind of heavy item. It's the Be Perfect Carnival 3 Love Tahiti palette. I enjoy this. I actually wanted to select the other one that's more fall colors, but how can you say no to this? Like, I opened it up and I was like, yeah, this is the one I want to use. So I'm going to use this one again 10 times. So that's not too bad. I try to do only 5 times for palettes, but there's so many shades in that one, I wanted to do 10 times. The other one, the Shade and Light, if I have too many neutral palettes, I may lower that to 5 down the road, depending on how much I grab it, but I'll leave it for now. And then I also have the prompt Skin is In, which is of course skincare, and for that one I have selected my Laneige Multi Deep Clean Cleanser. It's a brand new full 150 mils, just a huge beast. And I have a few cleansers I'm working on already, but I've decided that I'm going to pull this one. It's like the length of my head almost. I'm going to pull this one in once I'm done using some of those cleansers. So as soon as I can get to them, I will, but I'll put that in my bathroom in case I just want to change, because sometimes like I bounce to 3 cleansers at a time because I like to switch it up for my skin. So yeah. The next is That's Expensive. This one is another lofty goal, and I have feelings of Hourglass. because they're not inclusive. And in 2022, like, brands need to start being inclusive. I could understand if Hourglass was a brand new company and they just came out with like a tiny bit of stuff and they're just getting their footing. But this brand has been around for a long time, and you can't tell me that their products are worth what they're selling them for. They had to be making like 70% on that product. So if you can't make an extra shade lower, I don't even want to go into it. Okay, I'm just going to get angry. So I'm going to be using this Hourglass Ambient Light, what is it called? Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Sculpture. I can tell I'm annoyed. So I'm going to use this up completely. It looks bougie. It feels like cheap plastic. I don't like the word cheap, but I'll use it here. And this is what the shades look like. I believe the top three are very resemblant, similar-ish to the ones I have in my ambient lighting palette already. But these are smaller. Like, here, let me show you. I'm going to totally give away where I'm at with this thing, but I don't even care. They're way smaller. Way smaller pans. So I should be able to get use of that and be able to complete that. I paid so much money for this, and they're just like friggin' tiny, super tiny. Like, you can tell I'm annoyed. So I want to complete that. Just use it up and get it out of my collection. I'll probably enjoy using it, but I will not be repurchasing anything from Hourglass until they change. The next is, what do I have here? I'm like so annoyed right now. Okay, that's So 2000s. And this is the prompt I chose, which is Cheetah Girls. And it's any animal print. And I've decided to go with my Laura Mercier Highlighting Quad. Does this have a name? No. Oh yeah, Fall in Love Face Illuminator Collection. So this is what the shades look like. They're very beautiful. I love that really milky looking, it almost looks like sexy lava. What a dork. I know, what a dork. But these are the highlighters. Very soft and subtle, just very nice shades. I'll try and swatch them on the side of my hand here. This is the deepest one. I'm not sure I can use that. Maybe right now. That might be too deep. But anyway, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So very nice, very subtle and soft. Not really what I go for with a highlighter. Even though I like a soft look, I like beaming highlighters. So this one I want to use to, how many times? 10 times. I want to complete the Hourglass one. I want to use this one 10 times. And I want to use the Laneige one up completely. Okay, next. The Golden Girls Project Pan. This one is, I decided to go with Golden Girl as my prompt, which is something golden. And for that, I have decided to grab my individual eyeshadow in the shade Shell from Urban Decay. Just this side, not this side. So I just want to use that a little bit. It's very old. I can't even remember where that is from. I know it's from a palette that I had, but I like depotted it or whatever. So I just want to use that one 10 times. I might change that to 5 because I don't wear gold that often. Next is, this is Fantasy, and the prompt is Cyclops, which is a single shadow. I'm trying to use through some of those as well. I just, like, it's not that many, you know. So I wanted to use the shade Glamorous, which is not a very glamorous shade, if I'm being completely honest. Like, when you look at that, it's like, where's the glamour? But I was a sucker because look at that shade. It looks like everything I'm putting on my face lately. Where am I going to put this? Okay, let's try it right here on my hairy arms. You know? It looks just like that bronzer almost. Anyhow, it's very beautiful. It's very pigmented. I find that Makeup Geek eyeshadows are relatively easy to hit pan on. So I shouldn't have too hard of a time hitting pan on that. And I would like to actually go to pan. If I could, I would like to complete it, but I don't know that that's going to happen in a year. Next is Tiny Pans. And for that one, I have selected my BH Colory Vivace 16 eyeshadow pan palette. And I'm going to do this no pan left behind style. I've never done that, like I said before. And they're so teeny tiny and cute. This would be such a nice travel palette. It's just so tiny and it has pretty much everything you need. There's a few things missing for me, but really it's like the perfect size, you know? So I want to use this No Pan Left Behind. The next one is Turn and Burn, which is the second last prompt in this project. So don't worry, we're almost there. I know it's been long. This is a gimme product, and for that I have selected my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. I was hoping for no gimmies in this project because I want to use things as much as I can, but it's also good to get my little stuff out, and I do want to get through a lot of my primer, so this is very, very helpful. And this is the largest sample size that I have, so I want to use this to completion, obviously. And last but not least, Zodiac Project Pan. And this one is the prompt Capricorn that I've selected, which is a brown eyeshadow. And for that, I have selected the Urban Decay eyeshadow in the shade Beware. Now, this was in a different pan, and I had to repress it because I cracked the shadow when I tried to depot it. But it's just a very like ashy, sort of neutral or cool toned brown. Kind of between neutral and cool tone. But anyway, I really like that a lot. I think it's pretty. I think it'll play well with most of the things that I have in here. It'll play nice in the crease. It's a beautiful pigmented shade. That's all my stuff. There's so many things, 30 different items that we went through. Thank you guys so much for sitting through that. Pretty much a minute per item I talked. Like, that's too much. I can't believe it took that long for me to get through that. But anyhow, really appreciate you guys watching. I can't put my arm down because I got swatches everywhere. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I cannot wait to show you my update. If you don't mind, I would love it if you'd like this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.